Well, hello and welcome to Main Street Matters by Heart on Main Street, the podcast that thinks big about the little things that drive your business. I am your host, Patrick Iser. Before we dive into today's content, I have a couple quick announcements. We have quite a few webinars coming up in the next month or so, all of which I am very excited about. On October 2nd, we will have Samantha Connor of the Boutique Hub talking about celebrating Pink Friday. What is Pink Friday, you might be asking? It is a national retail celebration the Friday before Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. This year that falls on November 22nd. It encourages shoppers to discover and support small businesses first during the holiday season. I love this because it has always kind of perturbed me that Small Business Saturday comes after Black Friday. People go out and there's millions of dollars spent on Black Friday, primarily at big box stores and national chains, and then the next day we're asked to shop small. No! Shop small first, then go, or don't go, to your chain stores. Pink Friday is celebrating its 5th year in 2024. So Samantha will discover how your retail store can participate in this, it can be promoted, it can engage with the community, and drive customers to your store before Black Friday. Then on October 23rd, I will have Kathy Cruz, the Savvy Shopkeeper, on our webinar to talk about maximizing your cash flow using Facebook Live sales. As we get to the end of the year, every dollar counts. So we'll look at how to clear out that extra inventory, move your holiday items, and make more money before the end of the year. We've had Comment Sold on our webinar in the past to talk about their platform for live selling, and Comment Sold is tremendous, but it can be expensive and not within every retailer's budget. So Kathy will talk about how to get the same results in a DIY fashion. I am so excited to have Kathy on. She is amazing. If you listen to this podcast, I'm sure you already listen to the Savvy Shopkeeper podcast, so you know she's fantastic. She has that retailer experience and knows how important it is to really eke out every dollar that you can, especially during the holidays. Finally, on November 6th, I'll have Ashley Alderson, the founder of Boutique Hub, on to discuss her company and the importance of community over competition, which is their motto. I'm such a big fan of the Boutique Hub and what Ashley has started over there, so I'm very excited to have her on our webinar to talk about it. I feel like we've mentioned or touched on the Boutique Hub during several webinars recently, so this will be great for the audience to understand what they do and how they're helping out retailers of all types, not just boutiques. To register for any of these webinars, you can go to our website, heartonmainstreet.org, to find the registration links either under our education page or the upcoming webinars page. We also had a webinar yesterday with Georgianne Bender of the retail speaking team Kaiser & Bender. No relationship to myself on the Kaiser aspect of that. Georgianne talked about visual merchandising techniques that retailers should be aware of, and especially during the holidays, how to make your stores stand out and drive people into your store. This was our most registered for and highest attended webinar to date. I can tell you all love the visual merchandising topics. Whenever that's one of our webinars, registrations just go bonkers. Unfortunately, Georgianne did not permit us to record the webinar, so there is no playback available, and I cannot share the content with this audience through our podcast. But thank you to all who attended and registered. I promise we will have more visual merchandising webinars in the future. Okay, so on to today. Since summer is drawing to a close this weekend, I thought it would be good to put a bow on our summer sourcing series that we did over the past few months and take a big picture look at the 3 forms of sourcing that we discussed. Over 3 webinars, we looked at attending trade shows, working with sales representatives, and using an online marketplace like Faire.com. I'll start by emphasizing that there is no one best way. There are pros and cons, as well as advantages and disadvantages to working with each individual method. Honestly, retailers should probably use all three of these methods at different times to satisfy different business needs. So rather than asking you to go back and listen to each hour-long podcast, I'm going to take the next bit of time to analyze the summer sourcing series and its learnings. But if you did want to listen to those podcasts again, it would really help out with my numbers. You can even get a sponsor for this podcast to help out Heart on Main Street. So I'm not going to discourage you from doing that. In fact, if you have a device that you'd be okay just playing every episode that we've done throughout our entire catalog and listening to my sweet melodic voice and have it fill your home, that would be amazing. But you're listening to this one, and beggars can't be choosers. So we'll start off by talking about attending trade shows. This was our webinar in June. I had representatives from the Dallas Market Center and More, which is formerly International Market Centers, as well as 3 retailers on to discuss attending trade shows. And it was great timing. We were just about to start the summer trade show season. Trade shows are remarkable in many ways. They allow retailers to go to one central location and view entire line packages, which gives you so much more information than just looking at a catalog or viewing something online. You can see size, quality, texture, real color under different lighting. You can see how products are merchandised together and be inspired to do something differently within your store. If you have a relationship with the line or the showroom, you might even have a person there who intimately knows your business and your store and can recommend things for you that will be assets to your business. There are show specials and deals that are only available to you while you're there. You can really spend hours at trade shows exploring different floors and showrooms, discovering new products, learning about new lines. There's entire floors of new and emerging lines in the temporary spaces that allow you to discover products and support small artisans. I've described going to a trade show to other people as going to a mall of products that people can carry within their stores. You won't be taking anything home with you unless you go to the cash and carry, but you will have the opportunity to invest in products that will do well in your store. The market centers have apps that allow you to take pictures throughout your visit and catalog your day. Educational events are hosted to help you learn better business practices and become a better retailer. There are networking opportunities, dinners, and events if you choose to take advantage of them. It is essentially a gigantic party thrown for you and people like you. However, they are expensive unless you are local to the Trade Mart area. There are travel costs, hotel costs, and of course the cost of buying products while you're there. And while there are trade shows that happen throughout the year, the major trade shows are in January and in the summer. With so many people descending on one place for a brief period of time, plane, hotel, rental car prices all shoot up. You need a budget just to attend. And if you want to bring other buyers from your store, well, that's more money spent on travel that you aren't spending on products. Summer shows are typically less attended, which makes them more relaxed and can cut down on some of the costs of travel. This also means stepping away from your store for a few days during a week when it might be one of the busier times of the year, depending on where you live. And if you can imagine this mall scene, there is so much to choose from. You need to come in with a plan, or you might end up spending too much altogether or too much of your budget on the wrong items that won't do well in your store. This is planning and preparation and inventory knowledge that takes time and effort to do ahead of time. If you don't make appointments beforehand, you might be unable to work with that person who knows your store so well. This could cause you to miss out on or even not see something that would do well for your business. I absolutely recommend attending shows. They are the best buying environment that you could ask for. But you have to be wise. And depending on where you're coming from and your financial situation, they might not be the right option for you. In July, we talked about the benefits of working with a sales rep. On this webinar, we had representatives from showrooms as well as vendors, all who had different relationships with sales reps and sales rep teams. We had someone who runs a rep group with many, many lines and regional representation. We had someone who runs a rep group with a limited number of lines and national representation. There was the national sales manager for a vendor who works with many different sales rep groups, and someone who runs a company with their own sales rep team. This was an excellent follow-up to the trade show discussion because you work with reps at trade shows, but it might not always be your rep, the one that's local to your area, that knows your store. So talking about that local rep who comes in and visits your store provides extra context to what they do and what they can do for you. I certainly love the sales rep model. Working with a sales rep provides so much value to the retailer. You have someone who knows your business and what you're looking for in products that can meet you at your store or your home or wherever you want. They can predict when you might be out of a product and make sure that you have more in stock. They introduce new items and lines and make sure that you have the best things that will sell well for you in your store. They can tell you the quality of a product and provide a better description about its features than a catalog might. They have really good training from their vendors to be able to provide this information to you and help you make good decisions. They're invested in your success, or at least they should be. The better product recommendations they make, the more you will sell of the line, the more likely you will continue buying from them, and the more both of your businesses will grow. There's such a great value in having this liaison to your manufacturers. If you need something in a hurry, they're there for you. If you want something out of stock, they can often provide you with real-time information on its status and when it's going to be available again. They can track orders for you and give you insight that you might not be able to or might not have the time to find on your own. They can also be that extra helping hands during events to sell products or train your staff on their products. I know many sales reps that have such a close relationship with their retailers that they've really become friends. They share a lot with each other. They're instrumental to each other's businesses and they care for each other. All of this is to say, with a good rep. I hate to say it, but not all reps are made the same way. Some do absolutely everything that I just mentioned and are an asset to the business. But when you're dealing with an individual, you are dealing with them and their personality, as well as their good and bad traits. Some will recommend products or lines just because maybe they need to sell that item, not because it's in your best interest. You might see a sales rep maybe once a year or when they need something from you, not when you need something from them. Some might be more skilled at finding information that you're looking for, and a rep might be new and not be as knowledgeable yet and able to answer the questions that you have. And sometimes there might be a new rep for a line every couple months because there's turnover in that territory and you get no consistency in who you're working with. I think the rep model is absolutely indispensable to helping retailers grow their business. At their best, reps are a retailer's best asset. I just wish everyone was at their best. Finally, in August, we discussed using an online marketplace like Faire.com, we met with two representatives from Faire.com. Faire launched in 2017 and has grown tremendously over the past several years. The pandemic was actually very good for them, as many retailers didn't want reps in their store, reps didn't feel comfortable visiting stores, and retailers really weren't traveling to shows that much. It was easier to buy online during this time, and Faire grew. So since then, the platform has exploded. They now represent over 100,000 brands of all types. Big brands, small brands, every product category imaginable, all on one website. It is incredible the flexibility and versatility that it gives retailers. You can insert their entire catalog of products for things that are applicable for what you're looking for. A couple keyword searches can bring up thousands and thousands of different things for you. With so many brands on there, you're almost guaranteed to discover new brands simply by stumbling into them. Fair has also worked with these vendors to provide incredible offerings like free shipping or terms that you just can't find elsewhere. Their search algorithm is also unmatched. It will dynamically make suggestions for you based on your search history and your buying history so that you're able to find new lines and bring in new products that will go well with what you're already looking for and what you're already selling. You can buy from small artisans through Fair. You can find items that are customizable to your store, your region, your state, or your hometown. Fair is on a mission to turn the way that retail and retail buying is conducted on its head and provide new tech options for every aspect of buying, and they're doing a pretty darn good job at it. However, it isn't perfect. Fair is ultimately a website, and there are always drawbacks to buying anything online, mainly quality and expectation issues. A vendor can take some very nice pictures and have them posted to the website, and they don't actually reflect the real nature of that product in terms of quality of materials, size of the product, and many other attributes. Similar things can be said with catalogs, but through a website, you don't have that person there to consult you on the actual nature of the product. While all these discovery brands are tremendous, that does open the door for vast differences in what to expect when ordering. Fair is the marketplace. They do not assure the quality of the items, they only provide a place for them to be sold. They do try to offset this by allowing free returns on the first shipment from a new vendor, but it still involves work to get it returned. If a vendor quality depreciates over time, that option is unavailable for anything past that first shipment. Fair is trying to upend the way that things are done, and along the way that's kind of made them some enemies. Many reps and rep groups are staunchly anti-Fair. The Reps Are Local 2 movement, which I've mentioned in the past, encourages retailers to buy from their local reps, and this has been developed as a response to the existence of Fair. I will admit I got some flack from some wholesale companies and rep groups that support Heart on Main Street about giving Fair a platform during this webinar series. But I'm here to help retailers and present options to them that can help their business grow, and Fair is an option. To their credit, Fair is trying to combat these negative feelings towards them by having their Fair Direct program, where if a retailer who is an existing customer of a vendor buys from Fair, commission is paid to the local rep instead of to Fair. But this is growing, and not all vendors are partaking in it quite yet. Ultimately, Fair is not going away. It is the 21st century way of buying and finding new products for your store. It isn't perfect, but it's getting better and more advanced every month. To fight against Fair is to be a Zeppelin in the age of airplanes. So what are my conclusions? What are my recommendations? I don't know if I can make any overarching statements about which method you should use or when you should use one over another. Everything is situationally dependent, and no cookie-cutter model will work for every retail store. If you have the financial flexibility to attend a show, absolutely do so. You will not find a better buying environment. Working with your local sales rep in between shows or even at shows gives you a teammate in your buying who can make the best recommendations to you and provide knowledge about the line and the products, and can be an incredible asset for your business if there's that trust there. For quick purchases and when you can't get a hold of a rep, or if you're tired of the lines that you carry and want to find something new for your store, Fair is a brilliant option. I'd love to be able to provide a playbook for you, but everyone's on a different page and everyone's playing a different game. So that's where I'm going to wrap up this week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. For more information about Heart on Main Street, you can visit heartonmainstreet.org. Stay safe, shop small, and I'll see you all next week. This episode was written, produced, researched, and edited by me, Patrick Kaiser, with a special thanks to all who made our summer sourcing series possible.